Hello, everybody. It is Professor Rocco, ya boy, coming at you once again with another Age of Sigmar video. Now, this class, we're going to be prepping for 3.0 because, oh my god, there's charge reactions. They're coming at me. What do I do? I'm coming at them. I don't know. They can shoot me, run away, whatever. But GW kind of let that out of the bag. There's been leaks, there's been confirmations, and everyone and their grandmother's freaking out right now, and we do not need to freak out. We're not Chicken Little here. Y'all are going to come at this thing so prepared because, spoiler alert, we currently have charge reactions in Age of Sigmar 2.0. They don't get played a lot because they're tied to certain units and one sub-faction off the top of my head. But listen, it's okay. We're going to get through this together here. Rocco, as your boy, I got your back, and we're going to come at you with this. So, let's start off with what is a charge reaction? Just going from there. So a charge reaction is literally just you charge somebody and they get to react to it. That's it. Nice, easy. There's no deep dark secret in the definition. That's just literally as you see it as it is. So what the 3.0 things are, everyone's saying is it's going to be they got a stand and shoot like old fantasy where they get -1 to hit you but they can shoot you. They can run away like old fantasy, or they can brace themselves like old fantasy. This is all sounding like old fantasy. As things change, they stay the same, but that's okay. So currently, and this is just gonna be like, you know how OBR was with their relentless discipline point is the basis of what everyone's saying this new command point system's going to be based off of. Well, Games Workshop ain't that slick because they have charge reactions like this already in the game. Now, I can think of, 3 armies off the top of my head, and they're all order that have them. But you know what? We're just follow me here, and we'll tell you what we're talking about. So, the biggest problem in the meta currently is a faction called Seraphon. They are the big bad along with the Tzeentch Change Host, but we're going to focus on Seraphon here because they have a sub-faction called Fangs of Sotek, which abuses their charge reaction mechanic. Because the whole point of the sub-faction is when you charge a unit of regular skinks or chameleon skinks, if they have a hero wholly within, I think it's like 18 inches of the unit, they can spend a command point, the unit can shoot, and then on a 4-up, they can run away 8 inches. It combines the two charge reactions everyone's already freaking out about. And yeah, it's a pain, but it is keyworded. And this will also bring up an interesting question of, will all these things stay that I'm about to talk about going into 3.0 while we get the new charge reaction? So I don't know. We'll find out together. But the next example I got here is my beloved cities of Sigmar, where we have certain units that have charge reactions, such as the handgunners. I almost said Empire handgunners because my mind's going back to fantasy, but now they're the Free Guild handgunners. If you let a charge move within 3 inches of them, just like the skinks before, they get a chance to shoot you. And also the unit of old wood elves here, the Sisters of the Watch, the current Wanderers, the ladies with the flaming bows. So these are all units that if you end within 3 inches of them, you get to shoot. The Seraphon do it for command point, but let's be honest, they're generating like 3-4 command points a turn, so it's like they're doing it for free. The other units actually do it for free, but they don't get to run away afterwards. So you'll see people have lines of this gun line like right behind a juicy unit. So you charge the front unit, you end within 3 inches, so they get to shoot you, and you're like, damn. Now there's a third example here I got in my Stormcast army, the long strike crossbows there from the Vanguard Raptor unit. Not that it goes off often, because the whole goal when I have them in my army is so that they never get charged. But if they do get charged, they've got Overwatch, the stand and shoot mechanic, like the Overwatch from 40k, where you roll a dice for each guy, and on a 6 you hit. And it just also happens that their special rule as a unit is if you get a 6 to hit, it does 2 mortal wounds. So it's just roll a 6 and it works or it doesn't. Now, it's interesting that Games Workshop didn't take that from, again, like the 40k example. and they've gone with the other ones. But this just goes to show this already is in the game. And now, the cities example and the Stormcast example might not necessarily be played that much, and Fangs of Sotek have been abusing it, but we got to find ways to get around here, and I'm going to give you 3 tips. All right, that should work into 3.0 as well. Because this is because they're not going to reinvent the wheel and call it a charge reaction. This is it. It's just more armies going to get access to this tool, and I'm excited about that. But that also means we got to worry about this. So, tip number 1 here, I want you to charge a different unit that's standing right next to them that has this charge reaction. Right now, hear me out. Like, let's say you're going against Seraphon, right? It's the Fangs of the Sotek unit. They've got a unit of Saurus warriors right next to those skinks. I want you to finish your charge outside of 3 of those skinks, and then when you pile in, you get that 3-inch charge, you just tag them, get within 3 inches of them. Then they don't get their free shooting at you. And if you saw our video on skinks and why they're so deadly with all the buffs, for them to be able to shoot in the charge phase when they have all their mortal wound buffs up, their pluses to hit, and all that crap. That's my one curse of the video, because it's that scary. Well, you know what? If we can limit their shooting, the more the better here. The more for us, the better it'll be in the long term for the game. If we just mess up how often they get to try to pop us with mortal wounds. Now, number 2 here is instead of having to charge a unit, then pile into the charge next door, then pile into your actual target. Some armies actually already have units that have a 6-inch effective range for their pile-ins, and they can activate within 6 inches of an opposing unit. This is like Sisters of Slaughter, the new zombies in the Soulblight Grave Lords, Yetis for the Ogre Maw tribes, where you can just set up, you can run the unit even, be at like 5.9 inches from whatever you want to fight, and you just go in and pile in and mess them up. Again, it's a charge reaction in the charge phase, not the pile in and combat phase. And then our third option here, this might be a little tricky going into 3.0, but currently it's great. It's kill the hero that is the catalyst for spending the command point to let this unit stand and shoot. Okay? So, again, this is specifically Seraphon currently, but if this is the newest book that had this, and this is what we're seeing they're using it to base their new rules on, like OBR for the new command point thing that everyone's freaking out about. Well, the way it works for Seraphon is they need to have a hero in range to do it. So if this is literally just, let's kill the hero so they can't do it, through our own shooting or impact hits on the charge or something, because we got big scary monsters, you know what? More power to you. That's great. Problem solved. They can't shoot if they don't have the dude that can do it for them. Now, if it's unit leaders that can activate this is where we get a little bit more of a tricky thing, where killing the hero won't matter because it's like the unit sergeant does it. But there are enough abilities in this game where you can pick a certain model out of a unit, use that to take out the unit champion. And to be fair, if in your own shooting phase or your own hero, in your own turn, if you want to this is a 4th tip we don't even have on the script here. If you want to just blow up the unit with your own shooting and magic so there are like barely any dudes left to shoot back at you, that always works too. And also, as another thing too with those impact hits, just as a thought that popped into me here. So when it's your turn, right, and you have multiple abilities on both sides of the turn that activate at the same time, the person whose turn it is generally takes precedent. So unless there's a humongous change in 3.0, that should mean still, as we currently play it, when you have the impact hit, you actually impact them first before they can stand and shoot. So if you have the ability to do, like, let's say a Stonehorn charge in Ogre Maw tribes, where you roll a bunch of dice based on your charge roll, and every 4 up you do a mortal wound. You roll a hot charge, and you see it's a unit of 10 handgunners. You know what? You go in there, you probably kill 5 of them, maybe 6. If you roll average, you spike it. Then 3 dudes hitting you on 4s, wounding you on 3s, they get maybe a wound through. Math says you're going to be fine. And if everybody goes to this -1 to hit version of it, that means most of the shooting that's hitting on 4s is going to be hitting on 5s. And you're going to be fine. And they're going to generally be wasting command points trying to do this fancy standard shoot charge reaction when it just is not worth it. A lot of the shooting in this game, they have horrible saves. Even the archers and the Lumineth Rumlords are a 5 up. The free guilders and cities, they're wearing t-shirts. It's the feather that gives them the 6 up armor save. Once you get into them, you'll be okay. It's just how do we get into them that will determine how good your game's going. And again, the main 3 tips are charge the unit right next to them, then pile in. Bring units in your own army that have a 6-inch activation and pile in, so you don't got to even worry about charging. Kill whatever is providing this buff that they can do the charge reaction, whether it's the hero, the unit leader, or even 4. Who cares? Hit them with impact hits. Your stuff goes off first. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, now it is our segment for Rocco, ya girl, and her fun fact of the week.
Hey everyone, I'm Rocco, you girl, with your fun fact of the week. Did you know that one of the cheapest ways to acquire a full 2,000 point army is to buy 3 Ogre Mod Tribes start collecting boxes for about $270 US? It's definitely something to think about and consider. And as always, feel free to give us suggestions on content in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share with a friend. And as Rocco, your boy, always likes to say, class dismissed.